So we should be starting the car here in a little bit if everything goes correctly. So stay tuned. Alright guys, time to give you a little bit of an update. We have a V10 inside the A6. There is no table underneath. That means it is fit and hanging on its own. It still looks like a mess, but that's kind of what it is. I've got oil in it. It hasn't dripped out, so that's good news. Got both computers up here. We will be putting all that together. I didn't realize the camera was going, but camera was not going, and I've already got the blower box back in. But there's still a ton of stuff to do inside the car here. We've got all these wiring control modules, all this fun stuff. So we should be starting the car here in a little bit if everything goes correctly. So stay tuned. Alright, so we're going to go in the donor car and start taking parts out of it. We already pulled the column, the cluster, and some of the center console, ignition switch, but now we got to pull the dash cover and some other things. So set the camera up here and you guys can kind of see what that's like. All right, boys and girls, moment of truth. Key, ignition, fuel pump turned on. We've got a cluster. She runs. Woo! All right, it's done. Come get it.
Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Alright, so what you just saw me do is install the roof rails onto the car. And we did that because we're getting ready to put the headliner in the car so we can start putting the trim panels on, because they all overlap the headliner, so you got to do the headliner first. There's a few more pieces I have to swap out beforehand, and I did not take the interior apart on this, so it's going to be fun figuring out where everything goes. So probably a lot of back and forth and redos, but we'll get it done. Got the carpet ready to go back in after we get everything else in. Trim panels, and here's the pretty stuff. White Alcantara. Jake's getting fancy. So I'll set the camera up and crawl inside this thing. Alright guys, time to give you a close-up of how beautiful this headliner is. Beautiful white or gray, whatever you want to call it, Alcantara. Alright, so we're back here in the press room, and we've got some worn out upper control arm bushings. The ball joints are still in really good shape. They're nice and tight. They have no free play. So the cost-effective thing now is to just replace these bushings here. Surprised they weren't making more noise than they really were. These are the control arms out of the S6 that had, what was it, 100,000 miles on it. So, where are they at? I gotta go grab the new bushings. Follow me. Working here on Labor Day, so we are closed, but it's the only time I've got to not have any interruptions. So here's our new bushings. Got our Cup GT3 Cup car. Anybody needs AWE exhaust, we got plenty of it. Alright, so here's our new bushings that are going to go in there, just like new.
Huh?